Well, back with us is Politico's UK editor Jack Blanchard and the Telegraph columnist Madeline Grant for a deeper look at what is on some of the pages today. I thought this one was rather fascinating on the front of the Telegraph, just to kick us off with. We only have a year to rein in AI, fears Sunak. It's kind of interesting, this. We've debated it a lot on my shows on TalkTV about AI. And bearing in mind there's quite a lot of scientists, and I think the word boffins is appropriate at this point, who are signing letters saying, you know, we've got to really row back here. What the heck is going on? What's going to happen to us, Madeline?
What's happening, as I
understand... Now, Rishi's worried about it.
Is that, well, Rishi, I mean, Rishi Sunak is very interested in this stuff. You know, he's essentially a bit of a tech bro. He's an LA man. This is exactly the kind of topic that interests him. But my understanding is that the pace of change, the acceleration of progress with this new technology is so great that now, you know, the machines can do things that were, you know, unheard of recently. And the fear is that they're learning so fast that soon they will be able to control themselves, and that, you know, they will be able to outwit the humans. I mean, this has been a concern ever since the DeepMind beat the world champion at Go, which I think was in the 90s. So this fear of the machines being able to outwit the humans. But I think this is really coming to the fore.
But that is, I mean, that once upon a time, only a couple of years ago, Jack, that would have been a conspiracy theory, right? Would have been saying, no, don't be daft. But given that there are... So you now got the Prime Minister saying there's a very small window, he says, to address safety concerns over this. Scientists writing letter, even Elon Musk, who you might say is would be one of the chief beneficiaries of all this kind of stuff, is saying, you know, we should put the brakes on for a bit. It's largely been ignored. There's no real policy around this. Laboratories and scientists just kind of do their own thing. To the point that we have leaders of countries now saying, this is potentially deeply disturbing.
I mean, we obviously have to take it very seriously, given the sort of people who are raising these apocalyptic warnings.
Yes.
I'm not going to pretend that I know how quickly the end is nigh. All I will say about this is that, from the politics point of view, Rishi Sunak is trying to host a big AI summit in London in November. He needs that to be a success, and so a sense of urgency about this problem is probably in his interest to try and create a little bit, because he's trying to get world leaders here to talk about this. And when you're trying to do this, you might want to put a sort of time limit on it, because otherwise, what's the point in your summit? But that's not to say it's not a real crisis heading our way. It obviously is, because everybody who works in the sector says it is. In terms of stopping it, how do you stop it? If we just stop doing it, someone else will do it.
Exactly. And if the kind of the decent sort of liberal societies of the world come together and say, we're going to hit the pause button, I mean, what's China going to do? What's Russia going to do?
Well, yeah, like, you know, China are well ahead of the game.
Of course.
And the biggest, it seems, from what I'm reading about this stuff, the biggest obvious concern is unemployment. And that is that we will have to get used. I saw one Silicon Valley skinny jean-wearing character warning that, you know, that the big issue will be mass unemployment. And how do you service that? How do economies, first world countries, function when a mass proportion, 25%, whatever I think was the figure he gave, will be unemployed? What does the human... How does the human condition deal with that? How do governments deal with that?
Throughout humanity, the history of humanity, that this particular warning has been sounded whenever a new technology comes along. People assume that will create mass unemployment. You know, people thought that about looms, about the combine harvester, but often it creates jobs as well, dealing with the new technology. Just they look different.
That's true.
They're the jobs that we don't know what they are yet.
That's true. But he was saying that people said that about the internet. Oh, it's going to take away all the jobs, and it created millions of jobs. And his point was that it would be foolish to take that same line, because it really, this time round, it really won't do that.
Can we just say something quickly positive about it? It's easy to forget that there could be colossal upsides in terms of delivering public services, teaching, healthcare, stuff that you cannot imagine.
Well, the medical side of it is fascinating, because that is really...
So if we get it right, this could be, you know, society changing in an extremely positive way.